Hi, and welcome back. With my second video, I will be explaining glyphs, rotations, and gemming, so let's get started. First, we'll look into the basic questions. First, what glyphs should I use? These are common questions that I will be sure to answer. How do glyphs affect me? They all affect you in some way, so we'll definitely touch on that. And what rotation should I be using? These questions and more will be answered in this video, so let us begin. First, a little insight on glyphs. When you hit level 80, you have 3 major glyph spots and 3 minor. Out of the 3 minor, we have 2 major that are quote-unquote locked into our spec, that we must have for rating. The third is optional depending on your playstyle and set. With 3 minors, there is no recommended minor glyph. They are yours to play with and do as you choose. Continuing on, we will start with glyph of Starfire. This glyph refreshes the Moonfire dot tick that you have on your target by 9 seconds per Moonfire application. It's not continuous as it used to be when it was first introduced. This is very useful in saving time before having to use another global cooldown to reapply Moonfire to your target. The next glyph is Glyph of Moonfire. This glyph gives your initial impact a 90% reduction but increases your dot tick of Moonfire by 75%. This, however, does not stack well or at all with improved Moonfire, which is why I stated in my earlier video that you would only receive a 0.5% DPS increase. Glyph of Moonfire and Glyph of Starfire are the current Moonkin lock glyphs at this point in the game. The next 2 glyphs are Glyph of Insect Swarm and Glyph of Innervate. If you have your 2-piece bonus, I highly suggest using Insect Swarm as your third glyph, but if not and you feel you have mana issues, Glyph of Innervate is an okay side choice. Now we will go over normal Moonkin rotations. Here we have the basic Moonfire Starfire rotation. You just apply Moonfire and spam Starfire with this rotation until you need to reapply Moonfire, then just rinse and repeat. This rotation is the highest non-eclipse rotation currently in the game. You apply Moonfire, Starfire 3 times, then apply Insect Swarm and spam Wrath until your Moonfire runs out, then repeat. This rotation is a solar eclipse rotation. This rotation makes use of your Wrath proc from Eclipse. You just Moonfire and spam Starfire. Upon the proc, apply Insect Swarm and then spam Wrath until the buff wears out. You then spam Starfire and Moonfire until your cooldown is up and you proc it again. This final rotation is the highest rotation possible with Eclipse. You apply Insect Swarm, Moonfire, then Wrath spam. Upon proc, you then spam Starfire until your cooldown is up. Be sure to switch back to Wrath as not to proc Solar by accident while continuing the rotation. Also, if you have greater than 7 seconds left on your Eclipse proc, you can reapply Moonfire for a greater DPS increase. Remember, glyphing from Moonfire will decrease the initial hit, so if you like to PvP, be sure to remove this glyph in case you have the urge to Moonfire spam someone. And finally, let's talk about gemming. We have 3 main gems we strive to use, 2 main socket colors. Red and blue. Red is suggested to be used as a Scarlet Ruby as spell damage is greater than haste. However, it can be used as a hybrid and a Reckless Monarch Topaz can be placed in its spot. A blue gem is suggested to be a purple gem. This hybrid gem should be a spell damage spirit gem, not a spell damage stam gem, as you'd get more benefit from spell damage and spirit due to the conversion of improved Moonkin form. So let's set up the auction house and see what these gems can give us. As you can see, Rune Scarlet gives us 19 spell power. This is very nice and should definitely be used. Purified Twilight Opal gives us 9 spell power, 8 spirit. You actually get more from this gem than you would with the spell power stam gem due to the conversion of improved Moonkin form, but this doesn't mean you should be stacking a spirit to increase your DPS, as it will actually gimp it. Now we will look at the Reckless Monarch Topazes. These gems give us haste and spell power. They are a personal choice, especially if you wish to add more haste to your set. I also want to talk about our meta gem. Our best meta gem is the Chaotic Skyflare Diamond. This meta gives us crit and should be the only gem with crit on it in our gear. It also increases the spell damage of your critical strike, which means more damage upon crit. This meta requires 2 blue gems, which the Twilight Opals can handle nicely on their own. However, if you are a jewel crafter, you can use Rune Dragon's Eyes in your blue socket to also achieve this meta. So going over what we have Rune Scarlets, Purified Twilight Opals, and Reckless Monarchs. However, always remember to make sure that you are hit capped, even if it means to put hit rating gems in your sockets. You can also put a pure haste gem in your sockets if you see fit to, especially for the change with Old War coming up. Also, I recommend those who watch this for learning go to Moonkin Theory crafting sites. This video is for basics only, and there's a lot more information out there for you to learn. Well, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to neuter your rogues and/or warriors.